What's up YouTube? Georgia Silver Hunter back, and today we will be hunting a $500 box of quarters with our main objective being to complete filling out this National Park Quarters Collectors folder. Notice this book does Philadelphia and Denver from 2010 to 2021. A lot of the national park books and even the state books do Philly or Denver and not both. So I'm looking forward to getting into these quarters. I've already opened the box to make sure they're circulated, which they are. So let's jump into these quarters. Before we get into roll number one, I did want to stop and take a peek at this album just to see where we are. So you guys, if you haven't seen episodes 1 and 2, you know what we're trying to do here. So on the Philly side of the house, we are literally only missing 6 quarters, and it's 1 2010, 4 2011s, and a 2012. I will, of course, always be looking for things like W's, silver, proofs, varieties, any kind of mint error, as well as upgrades to this album. So, you know, I've been putting the best coins that I could find out of the last 2 hunts. That doesn't mean every coin within the Philadelphia side is like, you know, brilliant uncirculated. Just looking at this, like I can tell this American Memorial Park could use an upgrade. The same goes for the Denver side, but we're hurting a little bit more. Being in Atlanta, we don't get as many Denver minted quarters, so most of them are 2010 through 2012. Of course, we've got a couple of spots here in 2013, 17, and 19. Now, a couple of those holes I have filled. I have this little folder here, or this little manila envelope, and I have a bunch of the Denver coins, and actually one of the 2010 Philadelphia coins that I'm missing in here, but the coins are all dirty and beat up and banged up and look like they've been run over by a truck. So I didn't want to pop them into the album, only to have to pop them out. So I'm hanging on to this just to keep track of the fact that I've found them. Hopefully I'll find upgrades along the way. So that's enough of me yapping. Let's get into the first roll of this box, which I always like to do together on camera. And I'll just run through it really quickly. And hopefully we find something cool. No silver. I do see some really shiny edges, so probably some good opportunities at some 2021 crossing the Delaware full crown errors. There's a 21 potential airman error that I don't see. On this one, we're looking for the spitting horse, the Delaware. I don't see it on this particular quarter. What else here? Here's the 2020. We always look at that mint mark for a West Point mint. There's another 2020. Unfortunately, it's a Philly. Let's see here. What else is interesting? There's another 2020, but it's a Philly. There's a 2016 Philly. I don't need any of those. Nope. All right. And apologies for going fast through this. I just don't want this video to be too long. There's a Denver 2006. That doesn't go in my ATB book. There's a 2020 Philly. 2020 Philly. All right. We are just about at the end. I do not see the cactus error on that Arizona. There's a 65. I'll put that under the scope. Another 2020 Philly. Well, that's a beautiful 2019. That's a Denver. We may put that aside and see if that's an upgrade. That's just gorgeous. Okay. Well, nothing there really in that first roll. I'm going to go off camera from here, and I will pull you guys in when we find something interesting. So, we are on roll 27, and I've been pulling potential upgrades, and we have found some book fillers along the way. Actually, a couple here in the 2010, 11, and 12s, both in the Philly and the Denver. We've got a couple of bicentennials as well. 1 Philly, 2 Denvers there. But I'm bringing you in because this is one of the more sought-after die chip errors for the crossing the Delaware. This isn't the full crown error. Let's see if I can get in a little bit closer. It's not the full crown error, but it's pretty close. It's kind of like the half crown error. It's the bigger die chip there on the front of the hat. Unfortunately, it doesn't go all the way down to the base of the hat. If it did, this is still like a $60 coin. This big of a die chip, it's only worth about 10 or 12 right now on eBay. Here, let me put it under the scope for you. There it is under the scope, so you can see just how big that die chip is. The quarter is in really, really nice shape, but I also pulled up a recently sold listing, and that one's very, very similar to mine. $10.50 with $1 shipping, so $11.50 for a quarter. That's not so shabby. We are already up to roll 44. I would say it's been a rather slow hunt outside of finding coins for the book. We found quite a number of potential upgrades and book fillers, which is a nice thing because that's part of the series. But we also like finding things like our big die chips, our bicentennials, and our heirs, and that's why I'm bringing you in here. I've come across, and I've already looked at this under the scope, but it's one of the 2005 Kansas. If you're not familiar, there is a grease strike on this thing that is called the In God We Rust error, and I believe I have one right here for you. Right there. You can see that there's a little bit of grease that got into that T, so we have In God We Rust. And I have seen these go for decent money on eBay. In the wrap-up, I'll put some comps on the screen. So no other major finds. We got through roll 50. We did get a couple more of our bicentennials. But just to give you guys a quick glance at what we're going to be looking at upgrading, starting with our 2010s, we come across with our 11s, 12s. I think this may be our first, I think it's the New Mexico coin that I found. You can see that obviously won't be going in the book, but it's the first one I found in the last 3 boxes. And the rest of these up this way are mainly potential upgrades. So what I want to do is go ahead and get those in the book and give you guys a quick view. Before I do that, last look here at our big die chip in the crown on Washington. Probably a $10 to $12 coin. And then this, In God We Rust error. So not a great box of quarters from a variety hunt, but quite frankly, I think I'm going to fill quite a few holes with this box. Let's check it out. So to wrap up the book, I'll show it to you after we've punched everything down. I guess before I get into that, I do have 4 coins that are still in the envelope. 3 of the Denvers, I didn't find replacements in this hunt. I was able to close a couple off that were open up here, and we did add that 2012 Philadelphia, New Mexico to our little folder here. But if you look on the Philadelphia side, we are literally 4 coins away. We need this Arizona, Mississippi, Washington, and New Mexico. And like I said, I have that New Mexico. It's just a little too ugly to plug into the book. On the Denver side, we're still lagging behind, but we're much better off today than we were yesterday. So if I were to add that Pennsylvania, that Mississippi, and that Puerto Rico, we would really only have 4 coins left, including the Maryland. But right now, as it stands, we have, it looks like about 8 coins left to fill this Denver side up. I was able to upgrade about 4 coins. A lot of my 2019s and 2020s were upgrades on the Denver side. I did upgrade this Arkansas. I don't remember each and every one, but I probably upgraded 7 or 8 coins, and I was able to punch down quite a few more. So this book's coming right along. Again, hopefully just another box or 2, and we'll have this thing all wrapped up. I'm still really kind of flabbergasted that these 2010, 11, and 12 coins are so hard to find. With that said, I hope you're enjoying this series. I hope you're having a good time with these hunts. I know I am. I wish we'd found a few more interesting coins other than the 2 I've talked about twice now. But if you're new to the channel and you do like videos like this, you like coin roll hunting, you like silver, gold, precious metals, please consider dropping down below and clicking on that subscribe button, and then clicking on that little bell and selecting all so you get notified each and every time I release a new video. While you guys are down there, click that like button, leave me a comment, let me know how you're doing. You guys take care, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.